Behavioral science is the study of how and why people behave the way that they do. There are causal relationships between environmental, social, and economic factors that inspire the decisions that people make, though they might not always be aware of them. Behavioral science can be applied by employers as well to better understand their employees. What drives employees' actions? How can they be motivated and more productive?
We know from research that people often make decisions intuitively, effortlessly, and with little conscious understanding. Therefore, when we're thinking about design of policies or programs, whether that's employee health and well-being or motivation and incentives, a better understanding of what actually drives human behaviour can help people design better policies and programs, and therefore improve the productivity and well-being of their employees. So in terms of how behavioural science can be applied, then to begin with, it's just simply focusing on the people who you are trying to benefit. So trying to better understand what people actually experience within a particular organisation or within a company, and thinking about how we might improve that decision making. Trying to understand what are the things that actually drive how and why people have made that particular decision. So for example, when thinking about motivation, understanding that actually sometimes if you give an extrinsic reward, so if you pay people to do a particular job, it might actually reduce their inherent love of that job. This is what's called over-justification.
Over-justification occurs when having an incentive, such as an extra payment for doing a certain job that was previously unrewarded, decreases an employee's motivation and desire to do a task. For example, once the reward is removed, people would be less inclined to do the job to the best of their capabilities, losing interest and becoming unmotivated.
There's a lot of research on, say, group decision making, so how teams work together. And the best predictor of a strong team working together, there's three particular things. So one is the level of communication. The second is the quality of that communication, so equal communication between people of all levels, all backgrounds. And the third is what we call emotional intelligence. So how well do you know, or can you put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're working with? So often negative relationships are an issue where people maybe don't understand that point of view or where someone else is coming from. So by following those kind of three principles, often you can create much more cohesive, much more productive groups.
Though behavioral science has a lot of benefits in its application to the workplace, it's sometimes misunderstood.
I think often the biggest criticism of behavioural science is this kind of Orwellian big brother, well, if you can know and understand what drives behaviour, then doesn't that mean that you'll be manipulating people? However, our role as behavioural scientists is to try and empower people so they better understand what actually drives their decision making. And if we can better understand that as individual consumers, employees, citizens, then hopefully we can make more informed choices, or be much more aware of maybe where we're susceptible to biases, and therefore be more aware and hopefully more empowered to make the choices that are within our own interests.
To sum it all up, behavioral science can help employers truly understand the factors that drive employee and company decision making. With this understanding, great ideas that are in the interest of the employee and the organization can be born. For Canadian HR Reporter, I'm Alexia Kapralos.